Welcome back to In the Kitchen in La Cocina. I'm your host, Mike Gonzalez. We are back in the cookwithus.com kitchen. We got a great recipe for you today, one that people are always asking me about. Mike, how do I make tamales? Mike, how do I make tamales? Mike, how do I make tamales? It just goes on and on in my head. So we got with Lynn Wiedemann, we got with Frank Wiedemann, we said let's show people how to make the tamales, especially for the holidays, because especially in Mexican culture, tamales is something that families get together, they do it as a group because it takes a little bit of time to do it, but it's fun when you get the kids involved, you get the family involved, so it's a really cool process. Check these out that we have. We've already pre-made these for you because we want to kind of give you an explanation before we show you the ingredients and all this. Check this out. We've got our pork tamales and banana leaves. Isn't that pretty? And we're going to tell you about the pork and how we marinated it in our achiote. It gives it that earthy flavor. We've told you about achiote in some of our previous shows. You can get it at De Leon's. You can get it at La Michoacana, which is on Sprague and University in Spokane. So it's just a wonderful spice that we know you're going to love. And also, we've got these corn husk chicken tamales that we have marinated in these beautiful looking tomatillos that we just got out of the cookwithus.com garden, I mean, just hours ago. So these are so fresh, they are popping with flavor. And you probably remember that salsa verde that we made a few months ago. We made them with those tomatillos, so that's gonna make this dish so flavorful. Well, first step in making our tamales, obviously you gotta wrap them, but you've got to steam them. And that's one of the big mistakes some of the amateurs make. They throw them in the pot of water, and what happens is you get runny tamales, and that ain't gonna work for you folks. I'm telling you, you got to steam them. And there's a couple pots that they have. If you go to De Leon's Michoacan, you can go online, you can actually get a tamale steaming pot, and these are specifically designed for steaming your tamales. Or if you have just a big old pot somewhere in your kitchen, you can actually get one of those steaming baskets, and you got to make sure that the tamales stay above the water because you do not want them to touch the water. You want them to steam for about 45 minutes. So we're going to throw them in our steaming pot. So by the time these are all steamed up and we go through all the ingredients, we are going to have some great tamales. Okay, I wanted to focus a little bit on the masa right now. So many people ask me, okay, Mike, what is masa? Essentially what masa is it's ground up corn. It's got a substance called kal in it, which kind of takes off that outer layer of the corn, but it gives it all that flavor. And the masa, that's what's in the tamale and it's surrounding the meat. A couple of things involved first is the grasa, the lard. This is what your grandma ate and she didn't freak out about. I know people, you say lard these days and lard. But, you know, we're going to balance things out a little bit. We got our shortening here, and we've got this organic shortening by Spectrum, and this has no cholesterol. So what we're going to do is we're going to combine those two things. We're going to get a 1/3 cup of lard. We're going to get ourselves a 1/3 cup of the shortening. We're going to get our mixer. We're going to fluff this up. Okay, so we beat that mixture for about 5 minutes. It's nice, light and fluffy, and that's how we want it. So then we're gonna get back to that masa mix, and we measured it all out. What we're gonna do, we've got our bowl, and we're gonna take about half of this mixture, and we're gonna put it into our mixing bowl. And then we're gonna take half of our liquid broth that we've measured out, and we're just incorporating this. We're not gonna beat this quite as long as we did our mixture that we did before. Once that's good to go, you want to get your other half, and when we're going to just incorporate that other half. The reason you don't want to plunk it all in at one time is because it's going to be a lot more difficult to make this mixture nice and smooth and fluffy. Let's crank this puppy up to high. Okay, so our masa's looking good. What we want to do now is you want to let it rest just a little bit because that gives it a chance to, it's been dancing around in your mixer, so it kind of gives it a chance to be nice, light, fluffy. It gives it that good texture and moisture. Okay, we're at the funnest part, at least for me anyway. This is when you need a partner. This is when you start putting stuff inside your tamales and you need a dance partner. We got Lynn Wiedemann here to do some of the delicate part because I've got these big fingers and I have a tendency to crush them.
Right, so I'll do the time.
Good, yes. All right, the first thing I want to talk about is you actually soak these a little bit to make sure that they're soft, right?
Mm-hmm. These have been soaking in warm water, and I had to weight them down with a heavy cooking.
Okay.
And they've been soaking for about an hour.
And you don't, it's not boiling water, right?
No, just hot water to make them pliable.
All right, so so we're gonna grab one of these.
Yeah. And when you pick out your corn husk, oh, that's a beauty. You want a nice big one like that.
Okay.
So that's beautiful. And then you take a nice handful of dough.
So just a handful of dough. And is there a set amount that people want to do? Because obviously some people have bigger hands.
If you make your dough, if it's too much, it's going to be too thick.
Right.
So that's probably about half of that, Mike. I would say. And just put it down, and you're just going to work it into that nice triangle or not triangle, but kind of an oblong shape. And spread it with your fingers, and you can almost go to an inch of the edges of your tortilla.
And I've seen some people do it with spoons as well.
You can.
So how?
I'm just a hands-on.
Yeah. So there's really no set way to do it because some people use
you don't want to see the corn husk through.
Okay.
Just pat it down.
Just pat it.
Yeah. Just pat it real nice. That looks good, just like that.
And essentially, this is the glue that holds your meat. I mean, if you want to look at it a certain way.
Exactly. Then you run your chicken down.
Okay. So, and this is, some of my friends that are in the restaurant business. This is at your discretion, right?
Absolutely. But if you put too much, you can't roll it. So
exactly.
That looks good.
So it's kind of like, some people put more meat than others.
You want a potato?
Yeah, sure. And a cool olive. That'll be nice. Yeah. Add a little bit of flavor.
What we added, the potato and the olive, that's optional. But it really is a
kind of. That's going to give it a little bit of crunch and a nice flavor. And then
do you want me to show you real quick?
Yeah, show me because I know you were going to.
Just like that.
The envelope technique. So tell viewers about that.
So many people, they think they want to roll it like a jelly roll.
That's how I tried to roll my first tamale.
Yeah, and you just kind of put it together and go like that.
And then this is obviously where the tying comes in, right?
We use our little ties.
And you don't want to tie it too tightly, what you were telling me.
Yeah, you don't want to twist too much. It's more like just tying it.
Yeah. Boom.
Yeah, there you go. See, it's a two-man job.
Yeah, it is, and it's fun, and this is why it's such a family deal. All right, our tamales are steamed. We're ready to plate these things. Can't wait. Ooh, look at that steam come out of there. Those are ready to go.
Yeah.
Get yourself some tongs. Don't be sticking your hands in there. Your kids are gonna have to be like, ah, stop. We don't advocate hitting your children though, but use tongs. So we're ready to plate these things. Grab your tongs. Okay, so you're gonna help us incorporate this salsa in there.
Yeah, what I normally do, it just looks so nice on the plate, is I take some of this really nice fresh salsa that we've done.
And people don't try to eat the corn husk because you have tried it the first time ever.
So we're gonna take that.
I did that the first time. I'm from Miami, so I was used to Cuban food. First time I tried to bite into the corn. What? You don't eat that part, man. Oh, sorry, I'm from Miami.
Just like that. It is so good.
All right. Well, Lynn, thanks so much.
You're welcome.
All right, you
can. You gotta try this.
I will. Look, give me a fork. And if you wanna, while you're doing that, I'll tell them where you can find more about the recipe. Of course, cookwithus.com. We've got a link to their website on our website, HispanicFoodNetwork.com, and we'll have the recipe and everything there for you. I'll give it a little blood. Oh my goodness. This is good, and it's big, just like I like it. Good stuff. All right, get you some before I eat them all. All right, adios, everybody.
Adios.